Hello and welcome to Everyday. Joining us first up, we have Phil Gray, who is the manager of Community Radio Hamilton. We're going to be talking about the service the station provides and how you can get involved. Also, the Waikato River Trails is a fantastic project making use of the wonderful scenery along the Waikato River. And joining us to talk about this, we have Calvin Hainsworth. He's going to share with us all about this project. And also later in the show, we're going to find out about the 50th Jubilee of Centennial Drive. But first up, Community Radio Hamilton has been around for 15 years and it is a fantastic station and service, and joining us to talk more about it is Phil. Welcome to the show, Phil.
Thank you very much.
Now, Phil, just to get started, what is the Community Radio all about?
Well, Community Radio Hamilton is in a very privileged position. We're actually one of 11 community access radio stations, which are quite different to a community station, which can have a whole lot of purposes, but a community access station has a very, very special place in New Zealand. It's around groups in the community who wouldn't otherwise be able to engage with the media, having a place where they can come.
Right, so just groups and individuals can come and do their thing and share their message.
Essentially,
that's right. So basically anybody can get involved.
Yes.
Okay, and you've just had your 15th anniversary.
True.
And you've had a few changes, I believe.
We're very lucky that some big technological advances for us coincided with our 15th anniversary. We're part of a project with two other community access stations that the government has specifically funded to get access radio on the internet. By on the internet, I mean streaming our signal, ultimately podcasting. So we were able to launch that on our 15th birthday in December.
Oh, that's pretty exciting. Yeah, and how did you actually get started?
Well, the station got started a long time before I became involved with it. It started off as just a small handful of hobbyists getting together and starting up a station, which then grew into a community radio station. It wasn't until the late 90s that the station made the decision to become a community access station. With that comes some funding from central government.
Okay, and while we're talking about funding, I mean, I'd imagine you would need lots of funding for a big project like this.
Well,
how is it funded?
Our principal funder is the government through New Zealand On Air,
yes.
And each of the 11 community access radio stations receives New Zealand On Air funding. It's not big money that we're talking about. We're a relatively shoestring operation. We're also funded by a number of grants agencies who are very, very important to us, particularly the likes of Trust Waikato. We also have sponsorship opportunities for local businesses. It's a whole range of ways in which we get the funding we need to run a broadcast facility.
Right, and what about staff?
Small team, 5 people,
right.
Not all full-time. All of the broadcasters in community access radio are volunteers. There are no professional broadcasters, there are no paid broadcasters. It's about real people in the community coming and making radio.
Real radio.
Real radio, that's right.
So, I mean, I had a read on your website, you've got over 100 shows
that's right.
that you're actually broadcasting. What sort of shows do you broadcast?
A huge range of things. We have music shows, we have specialist music shows, blues, country, jazz, a whole lot of things there. We also have youth shows, so it's been our big push recently is to get more young people involved in the media. Mm-hmm. But our top priority, and this is for all access stations, is shows that comply with a certain part of the Broadcasting Act, and this is around minority community groups, particularly ethnic minorities, health and disability groups, women, children. So we have a priority as a community access station. So we have 15 languages, for example, radio shows in 15 languages.
Gee, gosh. So how do groups and individuals get involved? What's the criteria?
Well, as I said, our priority is groups who wouldn't otherwise have access to the media. So yes. If anybody's fronting a health or disability group, or they have a cause or concern or a hobby or interest, could be politics, could be faith-based, these groups we're always interested in talking to. The way to get involved, really, the first thing is to check out our website, communityradio.co.nz. There's a lot of information on there, particularly under a page called Make Radio. That's where we explain a process. That's a first step, and then we just ask people to ring us, come and see us, and we sit down and have a talk to you about the sort of thing we're interested in having on the station, share some ideas, develop up a concept for a radio show. We provide all of the training needed,
Wow.
Sometimes people need to wait a little while until there's time available. With 100 radio shows, we don't have a lot of spare time, which is great. That's the sign of a good access radio station. But we're there to listen to the community and
so it's a great opportunity, especially for young people to get involved.
Absolutely, and I'm particularly pleased that Hamilton's about to get its first radio broadcasting qualification down at Wintec, launches in a few days. We've got a very good relationship with them, and we'll certainly be looking at providing opportunities for some of those students.
Yeah, fantastic grounding for those students.
Absolutely.
Yeah, getting on air and having their message heard.
We certainly hope to have a lot more young people involved, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So sort of at your target group now, what would that be?
Well, as an access radio station, we're there to cater to everybody. We don't have one niche group like commercial radio does. They're able to very carefully target who they want to broadcast to. We're there to cater to everybody. Right.
And you've got about 20,000 listeners, is that right? Average?
It's really difficult for small radio stations to get a good handle on who is listening. The unique thing about access radio is we have, I guess in commercial radio you talk about market penetration. We have strong listenership in the migrant communities particularly. So we have lots of little niche audiences, which makes us quite different to commercial radio, where they can say we have this percentage of any particular age group.
Right, and you just finally, you broadcast, it's really the Greater Waikato, isn't it?
Well, we have an FM signal in Hamilton City, which is low power FM. We hope to address that this year with getting a higher power FM licence. So if you're around Hamilton City, you should pick us up on 106.7 FM. Yep. If you're outside of Hamilton City, you can always get us on AM 1206, and that reaches the Greater Waikato. But people can get us from anywhere in the world via our website. Yes. We have a live internet stream via the website, communityradio.co.nz.
Don't you love it? Well, thanks so much for joining us, Phil, and best of luck for the future with the Community Radio Hamilton. We'll be keeping our eye out, and if anybody would like more information or get involved, maybe start your own show, we've got contact details here. Their phone number there is 078 342170, and also there's a really good website that you can have a look at, which is www.communityradio.co.nz.